Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Set. 18 Gator.
Check 56.
Hard, hard.
He's coming. Let's go.
They start on the ground. It's McCluster. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's McCluster. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
That's trash. That's trash.
Snap.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Give him 5 on the QB run, but it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go, D.
And an alley to run. Now Vic stripped. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Off the play fake, Vic. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Vic. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On the return, it's McCluster. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. A defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They run with McCluster. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hey, pick your game up.
On play action, Vick. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
6-6, pull it high.
He'll look to throw. He hits McCluster complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And he is the NFC rating offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This is caught. It's Decker. Oh, he slipped right by him. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. McCluster. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Ready? 30 base.
We're scoreless after 1.
Got it.
56 is the mark. Crunch time, defense.
Let go.
And a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
Yeah, and if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And this shot downfield on second down is brought in. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, 87 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Spy. Hey, wahoo!
Mark 56. Mark.
2nd and 5. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Vic goes play action. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory.
We got this.
A big play there for the Niners. 51 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. From the gun, Vick. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his third touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Down.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up first and 10. Now it's McCluster. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a second and 1. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with second and a yard.
Hey, Alpha. Big dribble.
Second and 1. And he fires one incomplete. They couldn't hook up with Decker that time, and it's third and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Mike 54.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're starting to put some space here. In the first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Play action now, Vick. He's got a man. That's Marshall. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Throwing again. Vick. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a handoff looking right. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
What we got?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Pilot, 64, weak.
2nd and 3. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Here we go, here we go. 50, plant.
Night, sweetheart.
Let's go.
2nd and 6. And this one complete to Smith. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Let's go. We got this. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Now here's Vic. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. A beautiful fake. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Vic operating on 1st down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. Oh, he's going to look end zone here for Pettis. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis, 44 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
At the 26-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
On the ground, here's McCluster again. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
It's caught. Decker. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now they try the right side here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Madison running on first down. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Look at me. Go. Slam. Ready?
Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
On the set.
Mike spot 4.
Hey, orbit.
54's Mike.
5.
He'll drop to throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Well, the Niners get there and bring him down. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. Look at the dance and the juke. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. And I don't want to harp on it, but this defense among the bottom in the league against the run, and they show it right there.
And it doesn't matter when you get prepared for this defense, whether you're good running the ball or not. That's your plan. Run the ball against them. That's their weakness. And by the way, I think you harped on it.
I did. My bad. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
At the Vikings 16-yard line.
Here we go. 54. Watch the pass.
First carry for James Conner. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Watch 55. Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
On 3rd down, Vic steps away to it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It's a play fake. Now Vic. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's got Smith here. And I think the ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Check, check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Hey, wait. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Check, check.
Vic now after the fumble recovery. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Danielle Hunter, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
The Niners on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Off the play fake, Vick. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Ready. 55. Check 55. Mike, let's get the ball.
This time they'll throw it with Vick. That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it with Madison. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. This is caught. It's Decker. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 40. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll run with Madison. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Going to run with Madison again. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. And able to find Decker. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 25-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Ready. 56. Check 56. Quit talking about it and bring it.
Here's Madison. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it,
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
In your face. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2.
Go.
Here we go.
There.
They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game.
Vikings 23.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Right back to Coleman here on first down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive. Just